Hello, in this video I shall be discussing or analyzing a topic. The topic is India's stand regarding RCEP. So RCEP, the full form of it is Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. So this is a partnership of 15 countries in economy. So these 15 countries have 10 countries from ASEAN. So ASEAN is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So 10 countries from ASEAN and 5 other countries that are non-ASEAN have formed this comprehensive economic partnership. So this is a regional one which is mostly inclined towards East Asia. So India used to be a member in this. But recently India came out or disengaged itself in 2019 from RCEP. So why this has happened when RCEP is a good partnership, cooperative partnership, economic regional comprehensive organization, why India has to come out of RCEP? So this is a point of debate now. So we'll see various pros and cons of India coming out of RCEP and all. To have a brief fact view about RCEP, RCEP has got 30% of the world's output. So world's output from in any form in economy is from RCEP, and 30% of population are covered from all these countries that are partners in RCEP, and 28% of world trade is happening only through RCEP. Out of this 28%, 44% is intra-RCEP trade. That is, all these 15 countries in RCEP, the trade that they have amongst themselves account to 44%. And this is basically the aim of it is to strengthen regional value chains. So value chain is about marketing of goods, so addition of values to these goods and bringing them to other countries and improving their value again and sending, sharing. So this is all multilateral business. So increasing this value chain regionally in all these 15 RCEP countries is its main agenda. And as I've told, this is an ASEAN initiative. This is the world's largest agreement, free trade agreement. So regarding the trade, this is the largest free trade agreement and a very positive one. But India eventually had to come out of it due to some issues. We shall discuss the issues and what happens to India if it is out and if it is in. What pros and cons this has got. Firstly, we shall see the 4 pillars on which RCEP is positioned. They are promotion. So promotion of market to these countries and protection of their information regarding their goods and services or the market or business they can provide, and facilitation of investments. So investments need to be facilitated. That is, there has to be a healthy atmosphere in which investments are done, and liberalization of market or liberalization of trade is another thing that another pillar that RCEP is standing on. That is through lowering the tariffs or lowering the taxes and all trade barriers. So this is called liberalization of trade. So these are the 4 pillars that RCEP countries decided to stand on. And the progress that it has made is good. It's not so bad. The primary objective, as I've told, of RCEP is trade and investment liberalization amongst these countries. That is lowering tariffs. So it is good and it has achieved this. And for example, we shall come out with the 2 countries. They are China and Vietnam. China has reduced to 9.4% of its tariffs, the average tariffs from the country of amongst its imports in 2014. 2014 is considered as the base year for tariff cuts. So in this base year, so many countries pledged that their tariffs will be lowered. So the highest being China and Vietnam. Vietnam promised, or Vietnam has reduced 10% of its average tariffs in the same base year of tariff cut. And China has become mostly tariff free. That is, the imports of China to any country, the exports of China to any country, whichever country imports its goods, can have it in a majorly zero tariff rate. So 90% of its tariffs are cut amongst RCEP countries. So China's products can be mostly seen everywhere because of this huge tariff cut. This is a major step towards liberalization in the trade. So this is the so far progress made by RCEP and its countries. But we are facing major issues. So India, to come out of RCEP, it has got its own reasons. So they are firstly compromising India's interests. So India came out because India's interests are not heard in RCEP negotiations. So we shall see the major issues as I have listed here and also few additional other issues that are impacting these India's participation in RCEP also. The first issue is traditional market access. So traditional markets, India is all mostly dominated by traditional markets, that is small and medium companies or enterprises. We are not into heavy industry much, but we have mostly the small and medium enterprises. So their play in global trade is very less, and RCEP is not addressing this issue. So this is a major drawback to India's participation or India's trade or business. The next thing is multilateral trading system needs some reforms, needs some changes in RCEP. So multilateral trading system is, that is trade between different countries, not just one, two countries, but multilaterally 2, 3, 4, 5 countries, more than 2 countries when they involve, that is multilateral. So multilateral trading system involves electronics happening in it, that is electronic commerce. So there has to be sharing of information through electronics. Everything can't happen manually. So information or the goods or services have to be distributed electronically, and investment facilitation has to be free. If the trade has to move smoothly between these many countries, the trade investment has to be free, but there is no such thing like electronic commerce in RCEP, which is making this multilateral system very difficult. Only 2 countries can have trade at a time, so you can't involve trade in 4 countries or more into this multilateral system. So this is a major drawback. And the next thing is services trade liberalization. So trade is not just for goods, trade is also for different services. So there are so many sectors under services that are not covered under RCEP. So it is always speaking about certain goods and only few services that are involving trade between countries, but not all services are involved. India is a major donor of services to the world. So these services aspect, as it is not given interest in RCEP, India's interest is hindered even here. And movement of natural persons. So this is only being done amongst skilled people and big managers and all like that. So Indians are not being able to be moved based on the business things and all by RCEP. So India's interest is restricted in the nature of human movement or human business negotiations and all. And the next thing is investment rules are incomplete, and there is no dispute settlement mechanism in RCEP. And there is a point of contention called investor-state dispute settlement mechanism. So investor-state will be given, whoever is investing, that will be given importance in this dispute settlement, which is not a good thing in dispute settlement. So India is not happy with this mechanism. And the next thing is transfer of information. There is no cross-border transfer. As I've already told, there is no electronic commerce, so there is no transfer of information. So this is a backlog, and there is a disguised restriction on trade due to this no information sharing. Trade has to have information sharing also. There is a free legal framework adoption by countries if their information is used. So this is a threat to all other partners in RCEP. Finally, we shall see India and RCEP. India disengaged it in 2019, last year, when our interests are not addressed in the negotiations. But India is an original signatory of RCEP. So doors are always open by the other members of RCEP to grant India an observer state. So India can attend its negotiations even as not a member. It can go. And negotiations to join also, to re-engage itself into RCEP are also going on. But India is showing huge unlikeliness. And there is a huge additional solution to be taken up regarding India-China border issues. So we know there is China standoff, so this issue has to be addressed. Because of this, India imposed import restrictions and there are no investment flows between these two countries. But China is a very big country, major country in RCEP. So this has to be addressed. And we have recently come up with Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme. So this is against RCEP. This is about domestic value chains. This is about regional value chains multilaterally. So these are not engaging with each other. And the solution lies in answering India's concerns by RCEP. And India must also act with diplomacy. It must put away its enemies like China, but it can engage with other members of RCEP. So India must go diplomatically and India's concerns must be answered in RCEP. So these are the solutions that we can come up with. So this is about India's stand regarding RCEP, and thank you.